ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यभागवतसेवया भागवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. Welcome to this discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. We are right now discussing Canto 1, Chapter 16, how Parikshit Maharaj received the age of Kali. In our last discussion, we completed up to Shloka number 9. So, in this two parts, Parikshit as an ideal punishes Kali, which it is discussed in Shloka 1 to 4, and Shloka 5 to 9. Shaunaka Rishi is asking few questions. And then we saw how this chapter is related with the overall flow of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this chapter culminates into the activities of Parikshit Maharaj. The questions asked by Shaunakadi Rishis boils down to the activities of Parikshit Maharaj. And this activities, the question related to this was asked in fourth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Now let us go to shloka number 10 and understand this chapter further. Suta uvacha yada parikshit guru jangale jangale vasat kalim pravishtim nija chakravartite nishamya vartam anati priyamta tatah sarasanam samyuga saundir adade यदा परीक्षित कुरुजंगले वस कलिं प्रविष्टां निज चक्रवर्तिते निशाम्य वार्ताम् अनातिप्रियं ततः सरासनं संयुग सौंदर्य आददे. Translation. Sutta Goswami said that while Maharaj Parishit was residing in the capital of Kuru Empire, the symptoms of age of Kali began to infiltrate the jurisdiction of his state. When he learned about this, he did not think the matter very palatable. This did, however, give him a chance to fight. He took up his bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities. In this shloka, we see that Parishit Maharaj is hearing that Kali has penetrated his kingdom, though it is unpalatable. Further, he was ready to take up a fight with Kali. That is why he is picking up his bows and arrows. He was very enthusiastic to fight. Kshatriya spirit always wants to fight. All these days, there were no trouble. Everything was peaceful in the kingdom. But when there is a symptom of Kali, um, Parishit Maharaj found that it is not a peaceful situation. There is going to be a degradation of four regulative principles, and this is directly a sign of Kali. The important point is that yugas are changing, and changing of yugas will affect the situation in earth, and this will result in change in people. Nobody can avoid Kali Yuga. Then why is Parishit Maharaj ready to take his weapon to fight Kali? To answer this, Prabhupada gives a very interesting point here in the purport. In the rainy season, rain is predestined, and yet people take precautions to protect themselves. Similarly, in the age of Kali, symptoms as above mentioned are sure to infiltrate into social life, but it is the duty of state to save citizens from association of agents of Kali. Maharaj Parikshit wanted to punish the miscreants indulging in symptoms of Kali and thus save the innocent citizens who are pure in habit by culture of religion. It is the duty of the king to give such protection, and Maharaj Parikshit was perfectly right when he prepared himself to fight. So he picked up his weapon to teach a good lesson to the miscreants who, by their behavior, invite Kali. Salankritam श्यामतुरङ्गयूजितं रतं मृगेन्द्रध्वजम् आश्रितात्पुरात् वृतो रतास्वद्विपः युक्तया स्वसेनया दिग्विजयाय निर्गतः. Maharaj Parishit sat on a chariot drawn by black horses. His flag was marked with sign of a lion. Being so decorated and surrounded by charities, cavalry, elephants, and infantry soldiers, he left the capital to conquer all directions. Let us read the next shloka also. भद्रश्वं कीर्तिमालं च भारतं चोत्तरं कुरुन् किं पुरुषादीनि वर्षाणि विजित्य जगृहे बलिम्. Maharaj Parishad then conquered all parts of earthly path, Bhadrashva, Ketumala, Bharata, North Kuru, Kim Purusha, etc., and exacted tributes from their respective rulers. When the king travels, he travels with his associates. In fifth canto, we can see that the entire Bhumandala is divided into seven dvipas. These are created by the chariot wheel of Priyavarta Maharaj, and he was replicating sun. He moved in his chariot and created this huge tracts and oceans. Dvipas are nothing but they are consisting of various varshas. Dvipas are surrounded by oceans. Varshas are separated by mountains. The middlemost dvipa is called as Jambu Dvipa, and this has nine varshas separated by eight mountain ranges. The next seven dvipas are having seven varshas each. The last dvipa has only two varshas. So this we can see in the in description in the fifth canto. We will get into the details of it when we are in the fifth canto. Right now, Parishit Maharaj visits all these varshas in the Jambudvi. The varshas can be discussed, yeah, when the varshas, this deepas, everything can be discussed when we are into fifth canto. But right now we need to understand that these are all part of Jambudvipa. Let us go to the next shloka. तत्र तत्रो पश्रण्वानः सा पूर्वेषां महात्मनां प्रगीयमानां च यशः कृष्णमाहात्म्य शुचकम् आत्मा च परित्रातम् अश्वत्थामो अस्त्रतेजसः स्नेहं च विष्णु पातानां तेषां भक्तिं च केशवे देव्य परमसन्तुष्टः प्रीति उज्जृम्भितलोचनः महादानानि वासांसि ददौ आरान् महामनः. Translation by Srila. Wherever the king visited, he continuously heard the glories of his great forefathers, who are all devotees of the Lord, and also the glorious acts of Lord Krishna. He also heard how he himself has been protected by the Lord from the powerful heat weapon of Ashwatthama. People also mention the great affection between the descendants of Krishna and Krita due to latter's great devotion to Lord Keshava. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes in great satisfaction. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased to award them very valuable necklaces and clothings. These are very beautiful verses. तेभ्य परमसन्तुष्टः प्रीति उज्जृम्भितलोचनः. His eyes were pleasingly open. Preeti, attraction, pleasingly open as one who has such eyes. Keshave, unto Lord, Kevya, unto them, Parama, extremely Santushta, Preeti. Wherever Parishit Maharaj was traveling, his glories and glories of his forefathers already reached them. They were all glorious because of their association with Krishna. The glories of Pandavas were related to the glories of Krishna. Though Pandavas accomplished a lot, Krishna was the center of their achievements. Opened his eyes with great satisfaction. Okay, let's go to the next shloka. Shloka numbers. No, there is one interesting point here. Yeah. Yatra dharma suto raja gada pane prakodara Krishna astri gandivam chapam surat Krishna stato vipat. How wonderful is the influence of inevitable time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be reverses in the presence of King Yudhishthira, the son of the demigod controlling the religion? Bhima, the great father, great fighter, with a club, the great bowman Arjuna with his almighty weapon Gandiva, and above all the Lord, the direct well-wisher of Pandavas. This is glory of Pandavas. They were associates of Krishna. Krishna was their well-wisher. Parishit Maharaj was always hearing glories of Pandavas in connection with Krishna. Parishit Maharaj was also hearing about himself, specifically how he was protected from the from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. He was protected by Lord Krishna. Parishit Maharaj was not offended by their comments or by these comments, but he was getting very ecstatic, and that is why his eyes were wide open in great satisfaction. Preeti Ujrambita Lochanaha. So he was very happy with this. Usually, when we hear that we are good because of the mercy of some other person, we feel hurted. But Pandavas and Parishit Maharaj were so glorious that when Parishit Maharaj heard about his glories in connection with Krishna, he became very happy. They were very glorious because of Krishna's mercy. He also heard about the connection of Vrishnis and Pandavas. Parama Santushta. You can see that there is a word Parama Santushta. Tebyaha Parama Santushta. Tebyaha means unto them extremely pleased. He became very happy. And Ujrambita Lochana, his eyes opened because of happiness in hearing this. Because he was not envious of glorification of Krishna, he got lot of charity. Hmm. He was pleased to award them. Next, Krishna and his unaware devotees cannot be separated, and therefore glorifying the devotee means glorifying the Lord, and vice versa. Maharaj Parishit would not have been glad to hear about the glories of his forefathers like Maharaj Yudhishthira and Arjuna, and had they not been connected with the acts of Lord Krishna. The Lord descends specifically to deliver his devotees. The devotees are glorified in the presence of the Lord because they cannot live for a moment without the presence of Lord and his different energies. In this case, when Lord is glorified by us, um, when the Lord was glorified by the people whom Parishit Maharaj met, because they glorified the Lord, they were awarded by Parishit Maharaj. See, then Prabhupada is writing, Lord Krishna would not have been glorified as a speaker of Bhagavad Gita had his devotees like Pandavas not been entangled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna is called Vijaya Shaka. Why? Arjuna is Vijaya because he gets victory wherever he goes, because he is friend of Krishna. Since Krishna is friend of Arjuna, he is called as Vijaya Shaka. Krishna is called as Vijaya Shaka. Here we see the connection of Arjuna and Krishna and Arjuna both ways. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about the welcome address given by Parishit Maharaj. There are praises where facts were told. These are not artificial or temporary praise spoken principally to get some benefit. We can see that Prabhupada is mentioning here the difference between the presentation of welcome address today and in those days is that formerly the welcome addresses were presented to a person like Parishit Maharaj. Welcome addresses were full of facts and figures, and those who presented such address were sufficiently rewarded. Whereas in present days, the welcome addresses are presented not always with actual statement, but to please the post holder, and often they are full of flattering lies. And rarely are those who present such welcome addresses rewarded by the poor receiver. As soon as Parishit Maharaj heard the glories of his forefathers in relationship with Krishna, he gave lot of gifts to the person who was doing that glory. सार सारथ्यपारसद सेव न शक्य दौत्य वीरासनानुगमनस्तवन प्रणाम स्निग्धेषु पाण्डुष जगत्प्रणतीं च विष्णु भक्तिं करोति नृपतिश्चरणारविन्दे. This is a very beautiful shloka. Saratya parasada sevana shakya dautya वीरासनानुगमनस्तवन pranama स्निग्धेषु पाण्डुष जगत्प्रणतीं च विष्णो भक्तिं करोति नृपतिश्चरणारविन्दे. Maharaj Parishit Maharaj heard that out of his costless worship of Krishna, Vishnu is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of service to malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to the president to the messenger, friend, night watchman, etc. According to will of Pandavas, obeying them like a servant, offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parishit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of Lord. In this shloka, it is very important to read the word to word translation. Saratya, acceptance of post of chariot driver. Parasada, acceptance of presidency in the assembly of Rajasuya sacrifice. Sevana, engaging the mind constantly in the service of Lord. Shakya, to think of Lord as a friend. Dautya, acceptance of post of a messenger. Virasana, acceptance of post of a watchman with bronze bond at night. Anugamana, following in the footsteps. Tavana, offering of prayers. Pranama, offering obeisances. Snigdeshu, unto them who are malleable to the will of the Lord. Pandushu, unto the sons of Pandu. Jagat, the universal. Pranati, one who is obeyed. Cha, Vishnoha, of Vishnu. Bhakti, devotion. Karoti, does. Nripatihi, the king. Charanaravind, unto his lotus feet. You see, each one of this word is connected with Krishna. The way Krishna and Pandus were related with one another. Pandavas were related with one another. There is an interesting shloka with this connection. Bhavayanastam bhava vishva bhavana tameva matat suhritpati pita tam sadguruna paramam cha devatam yasyan vidyakritino babhumima. O Creator of the universe, you are our Mother, Well-wisher, Lord, Father, Spiritual Master, and worshipable deity. By following in your footsteps, we have become successful in every respect. We pray, therefore, that you continue to bless us with your mercy. This is taken from Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. So, Dwarkavasis are glorifying Krishna. Krishna's acts in different capacities with with his devotees. And devotees become happy uh, to associate with Krishna and serve him. By doing that service, uh, the Lord's pastime gets enacted, and in that, the devotee also gets glorified. Prabhupada is making one point. Maharaj Parishit, as a pure devotee of Lord, could appreciate Lord's transcendental reciprocation of feeling of his devotees, and thus he himself also was overwhelmed with the dealings of his devotees, dealings of the Lord. Only a devotee can understand the feeling of the Lord for his devotee. Only when he appreciated, only when he appreciates this type of feelings, one can become a devotee and become eligible for liberation. Srila Prabhupada is lighting this in this purport. Simply by appreciating the dealings of the Lord in the Spirit is one can attain salvation. Lord's dealings with his devotees appear to be ordinary human dealings, but one who knows them in truth becomes eligible to go back home, back to God. Where is this told? It is told in Bhagavad Gita 4.1. Ye yatama prapatyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham mama vartava anuvartante. There is one more sloka. It is 4.11 is important. But there is one more sloka which is more important. There is so 4.9 it says Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvata tyaktva devam punarjanma naiti mamiti. So Arjuna. Going back to the point, only devotee Lord's dealings with appear on him, but one who knows them in truth becomes going back home, back to God. So this is activities of Krishna. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvata tyaktva devam punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna. Krishna is telling Arjuna, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. Therefore, it is very important that we read Srimad Bhagavatam and understand the purport thoroughly. So, this is one of the shlokas given in Bhagavad Gita. Now, there is one more shloka here. Pandavas were so malleable to the will of Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for service of the Lord. And by such unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desire. This is given in 4.1. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham mama vartama anuvartante manushyaha partha sarvashah. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pita. Pandavas were malleable in whichever way Krishna wants, they will act. Then Krishna is reciprocating whichever way Pandavas wanted them to act. So the way Pandavas surrendered unto Krishna, the way Krishna wanted them to surrender. And when they surrendered like this, he rewarded them accordingly. So it is like circular. One comes after that, and we do not know which one starts first. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 8.1, there is a very good shloka. Sancharya Rama Vidavakta Mege Savakti Siddhanta Chaya Amritani Gaurabdvirete Amuna Vitirnais Tajñātvarataṃ Ratnālayataṃ Prayati. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gauranga, is ocean of all conclusive knowledge in devotional service. He empowered Sri Ramananda Raya, who may be likened to the cloud of devotional service. This cloud was filled with water of all conclusive purports of devotional service and was empowered by ocean to spread this water over the sea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Thus, ocean of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became filled with wells of knowledge of pure devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say that he does not know anything. Then Ramananda Raya, who is empowered devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will discuss topics of bhakti, sadhya, sadhana, what is the highest truth, who is Radha, who is Krishna, what is Rasa Tattva. He keeps on asking these type of topics. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu keeps on asking these topics to Ramananda Raya. And Ramananda Raya is continuously answering them. And this, speaking of Ramananda Raya, is compared to raining cloud. Cloud gets water from the ocean. This cloud is raining on the ocean only. And Mahaprabhu empowered Ramananda Raya to speak, and he himself became the listener. A cloud is always smaller than the ocean. Cloud gets water from the ocean, but sometimes because of ocean, the cloud pours water on the ocean. So Ramananda Raya used to satisfy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in these dealings. That is very interesting shloka, one more shloka here. 8.13. Raya kahe ami nata tumi sutradara. E mata nacho tai chahe nachi bara. Sri Ramananda Raya said, I am just a dancing puppet. You pull the strings whichever way you make me dance, I will dance. Ramananda Raya wants to dance according to strings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is deep desire of devotee to dance according to wish of the Lord. It's not saying that I am helplessly made to dance according to your wish. No, it is not the desire. It is they want to dance according to Lord's tunes. Pandavas also wanted to dance according to the desires of Krishna. Snigdeshu Pandusha Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu. That is what is written in this shloka. Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu. So signation is unto them who are malleable to the will of God. Pandushu, unto the sons of Pandu. Jagat, universal Pranati, one who is obeyed. Cha, and of Vishnu. This desire of devotee then makes Lord dance according to desires of this devotee. You can see there is one more shloka in Chaitanya Chata Madhya Lila 3.106. Bahuta na chaile tuni chada na chana nachana. Mukunda Aridasa Laya Karaha Bhojana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Advaita Acharya, you have made me dance in various ways. Now give up this practice. Go with Mukunda and Haridasa and accept your lunch. Here, devotee is dancing in tune of Lord, and Lord is dancing according to wishes of the devotee. This we see is a mutual, and it is accepted here by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And it shows the deep desire of the Lord to surrender to his devotees. Thus, these are voluntarily acceptance by devotee and the Lord according to each other's wills. There is no force here, and this is the desire. This is the sweetness of relationship between the Lord and his devotees. Let us go to the next shloka. तस्यैवम् अर्थमानस्य पूर्वेषां वृत्तिम् अन्वहं नातिदूरे किलाश्चर्यं यद् आसीत् तत् निबोध मे. Now you may hear from me of what happened while Maharaj Parishit was passing his days hearing of good occupations of his forefathers and being absorbed in thought of them. One thing which Parishit Maharaj understood is that he should be malleable, and he should understand the activities of Krishna, the minds of Krishna, how devotees help. He has to understand two shlokas. One shloka is Janma Karma Cha Medivyam Evam Meti uh, Evam Yo Veti Tattvata Tattvadayam Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Swajana. So one should understand the appearance and activities of the God. This is one important thing. And another thing is, ye yatamam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajami. So we need to be malleable to Krishna. So these are the two important things which Parishit Maharaj is understood here. Dharma padaike nacharan vichayan uplabhya gam upalabhya gam prachatti samashru padanam vivatsam eva mataram. The personality of religious principle Dharma was wandering about in the form of bull, and he met the personality of Earth in the form of cow, who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus, Dharma questioned the earth as follows. Here we see the dialogue between bull, who is Dharma, and cow, who is Dharani, earth. We see that cow has lost her beauty. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura clarifies in the beginning only that the scene of dialogue between cow and bull is not visible to everyone's eyes. The dealings of Dara, Dharani, Kali, and Parikshit were not visible to everyone's eyes. Parikshit Maharaj was able to see with his mystic eyes through his meditation. This is not an ordinary scene. When bull and cow are happy and in joyful mood, then there is happiness in the world. If they are crying, then it is not a sign of prosperity. So, king, whose main duty is to ensure prosperity of the kingdom, should not allow cow and bull to cry. So, Parishit Maharaj is taking steps to make cow and bull happy. By advancement of the bull and cow can be protected for the good of all human society simply by spreading of Brahminical culture as the topmost perfection of cultural affairs. By advancement of such culture, the moral of the society is properly maintained, and so peace and prosperity are also attained without extraneous effort. When Brahminical culture deteriorates, the cow and bull are mistreated, and the resultant actions are prominent by following symptoms. धर्मोवाच कच्चिद्भद्रे अनामयम् आत्मनस्ते विच्छायसि म्लयतेषन्मुखेन आलक्ष्ये भवतीम् अन्तरादिं दूरे गन्तुं शोचसि कञ्चनाम्बा. Dharma in the form of bull asked, Madam, are you not ill and hearty? Why are you covered with a shadow? It appears by your face that you have become black. Are you suffering from some internal disease? Or are you thinking of some relative who is away in distant place? This the rest of the chapter is now a dialogue between Dara and Dharani. And Dara is inquiring, Dharma is inquiring the reason for the moroseness of Dharani. Her condition is very pitiable, so what could be the reasons? At least from the enquiries, we can see various symptoms of Kali Yuga. Um, the one is, are you lamenting for some relative who is in a distant place? In Kali Yuga, it is not possible for relatives to stay together. This is very difficult for somebody to stay together, especially husband and wife. They will always remain separated. Husband will work in faraway place. He may come only once in a week. Wife may also go for work, may come only once in a week. Parents and children may not stay together. So, so this is a very common symptom of age of Kali. Let us go to the next one. पादे न्यूनं शोचसि मैकपदम् आत्मानं वा कषलये वक्ष्यमाणम् आहो सुरन्दिं ऋतयज्ञभागं प्रजापो तत्सि मगवति अवर्षति. I have lost my three legs and I am now standing on only one. Are you lamenting for my state of existence? Or are you in great anxiety because henceforward the unlawful meat eaters will exploit you? Or are you in sorry plight because the demigods are now bereft of their share of sacrificial offerings because no sacrifices are being performed at present? Or are you grieving for living beings because of their sufferings due to famine and drought? In this verse, four symptoms of Kali Yuga are mentioned. First one is, are you lamenting for my state of existence? Here, the four legs of the bull will be destroyed. Actually, in Kali Yuga, the Dharma is standing only on one of the legs, which is truthfulness. Then, second one, are you in great anxiety because henceforward unlawful meat eaters will exploit you? There is an increase in eating of cow meat. Hence, cows will be slaughtered. Then, are you in sorry plight because the demigods are now bereft of the share of sacrificial offerings? Because no sacrifices are being performed at present. There won't be any sacrificial offerings. Or are you grieving for living beings because of their sufferings due to famine and drought? There will be lot of famine and drought. First, there is only truthfulness. Cows will be slaughtered. There will be no sacrificial offering. There will be only famine and drought. These are the other four symptoms. Now let us go to the next shloka. Prabhupada is elaborating on all these points in this shloka, in this purport. Arakshamana Sriyauri Kurvi Balan Sochasi Ata Purasade Ivartan वाचं देवीं ब्रह्मकुले कुकर्मणि अब्रह्मण्ये राजकुले कुलाग्रयान्. Are you feeling compassion for the unhappy women and children who are left forlorn by unscrupulous persons? Or are you unhappy because of goddess of learning is being handled by brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? Or are you sorry to see that brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? In this yuga, there will be women and children who are not properly taken care. The children will be left in crèche. Mother and father will go to work. Nobody is there to take care of children. They will be completely neglected. Second, Brahmanas are there to educate the society in Vedic knowledge. However, they become corrupted and they misuse this knowledge in their hands. And a few verses back, we saw Parishit Maharaj was taking care of Brahmanas. But here we see that Brahmanas would not take care of Brahmanas are asking taking shelter of administrative families. Generally, Brahmanas would not take any remuneration for any suggestion or advice. Good advice is very valuable without any expenditure. In if we give money for advice, then it is not valuable advice. In current society, Brahmanas will receive remuneration from administratives. In Kali Yuga, governments will be disrespectful to the Vedic culture, which respects Brahmanas. Brahmanas will go to wealthy person to take his money for the ritual. Same way, wealthy person is only sentimentally related to the rituals. He has no respect for Brahmanas or the teachings because Brahmanas try to get money for whatever they are doing. Therefore, the people who pay Brahmanas, they think they can buy the Brahminical culture. Kim Kastrabadhan Shastrabandhum Kalino Pasristan Rashtrani Vate Avo Avropitani Itastato Vasana Panavasaha Snana Vyavayonuka Jivalokam. The so-called administrators are now bewildered by influence of this age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations of eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc., and they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? The point here is that any problem in the society are not properly addressed by the leadership. Therefore, there are many questions asked here. Are you worried about the maladministration caused by Kali Yuga leaders? That is the first question. Second question is that there is no restriction of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So humans have become animals, and animals have sex in public as well as it becomes a nuisance when it is done by humans. As Kali Yuga degrades, this will happen, and hence shamelessness will move away from this society. We can see that eating, sleeping, and drinking are all done in a very awkward way in public right now. Now we see that previously people used to eat only prasad, but now we see people eat anything, anywhere, anytime, cooked by anyone. Sleeping is also done nowadays in all places at all times. Usually, people do not sleep during Brahma Muhurta, and people take rest in the noon. Originally, we should sleep few hours after sunset and get up at Brahma Muhurta. Srila Prabhupada is explaining that degradation is yet to come, and we could not imagine the level of degradation uh, which is going to come. It is better, Prabhupada actually instructs that it is better not to take birth again in this yuga. Go to the next shloka. यद्वाम्बते भूरि वरावतारा कृत्वा तारस्य अरे दारित्री अन्त अहितस्य स्मरति विश्वस्ता कर्माणि निर्वाण विलंबितानि. O Mother, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari incarnated himself as Lord Shri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. All his activities here are transcendental and they cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. Yadvamba te guri paravatara kritatarasya are daritri antaritasya smarati vishvista karmani nirvana vilambitani. This verse questions if Mother Earth is unhappy because of absence of Krishna from the world. When Krishna descends, Krishna is very kind to Mother Earth. When Hiranyaksha mishandled Mother Earth, Lord came as Varaha and protected her. When Ravana was creating problems, Lord Ramachandra came and eliminated Ravana. Same way, Lord Brahma and Mother Earth go and pray to Lord Vishnu in the Shiro Sagar. And then Lord Krishna descends with the main purpose of reducing the burden on earth. To attain nirvana liberation, one has to undergo severe type of tapasya austerity. But the Lord is so merciful that He incarnates to diminish the burden of earth. Simply by remembering such activities, one can defy the pleasure derived from nirvana and reach transcendental abode of Lord. to associate with him, eternally engaged in his blissful, loving service. Karmani nirvana vilambitani. Activities, you are probably not thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in this absence. All his activities here are transcendental, cement the path of liberation. That is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. This sloka minimizes the importance of nirvana, salvation. The happiness available in liberation is nothing compared to hearing about Krishna. There is an interesting shloka, 4.9.1. या निर्वृतिस्तनुव्रतां तव पादपद्मा ध्यानात् भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमानि अपि नातमाभूत् किं त्वा अन्तकाशि ललितात् पततां विमानात्. This is a very beautiful shloka. My Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged into the impersonal Brahman as one with Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by transcendental bliss derived from the devotional service, then what to speak of temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to the heavenly planets, which is ended by separating sort of time. Although one may be elevated to heavenly planets, he falls down in due course of time. This shloka, this shloka compares the superiority of thinking about the lotus feet of Krishna and hearing about his glories, which is devotional service to Lord, is much far better than the impersonal Brahman or elevation to higher planets. Elevation to higher planets is like taking a flight and going high in the sky. When the fuel is empty, we need to land on it. As long as we have pious credit, we can stay in heavenly planet. Once the pious credits are exhausted, we need to come down to earth. So all his activities are transcendental. Simply by remembering such activities, one can defy the question derived from nirvana and reach the transcendental abode to associate with the Lord, eternally engaged in his blissful service. Let's go to the next shloka. Ida idam मम चक्ष्वतवादिमूलं वसुन्धरेयेन विकसिताशि कालेन वा ते बलीन बलीया सा सुराय चितं किं ऋतम् अम्ब सौभगम्. Mother, you are the reservoir of all distress. Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations by which you have been reduced to such weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time which conquers the most powerful might, have forcibly taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by Indian gods. When Krishna was there on the earth, there was lot of opulences. When he left, all opulences also left. Okay. Now, but by the will of Lord, the old earth can at once be changed. He can do and undo a thing by his sweet will. Therefore, no one should consider himself to be self-sufficient or independent of Lord. So Prabhupada here is mentioning that by the grace of Lord, each and every planet is created fully equipped. So not only is this earth fully equipped with all riches for maintenance of its inhabitants, but also when Lord descends to the earth, the whole earth becomes so enriched with all kinds of opulences that even denizens of heaven worship it with all affection. But by the will of Lord, the whole earth can at once be changed. He can do and do a thing by his sweet will. Therefore, no one should consider himself to be self-sufficient or independent of God. So we need to be dependent on Lord. Mother Earth is bereft of opulences because Krishna left Earth. No one should consider oneself to be independently prosperous, independently opulent. We are successful, we are prosperous, we are opulent only because Krishna has sanctioned it. So we need to see hand of Krishna in everything around us. Just take you a recap. Today we covered Shloka 10 to 24. In 10 to 17, Sutta Goswami describes Parishit as a conqueror where he gets to understand that Krishna's birth and activities are very nice, and devotees always act malleable to the will of God. And Krishna then acts malleable to the will of devotees. So that is something which Parishit Maharaj understands. And then there are few questions asked by Dharma in the form of bull to earth, who is in the form of cow. And Kali Purusha is hitting the legs of the cow. Um, and Parishit Maharaj is seeing this. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, this is visible only to the eyes of Parishit Maharaj. Okay, so we will see this, discuss further about this chapter in our subsequent discussions. Thank you very much. Panchakalpatarabhyascha, Upasindhu Bhayevcha, Patitanam Pavadebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत गीता जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। हरि